with my finger. I pressed my
Why?
finger against the door of the car. That was awful yesterday. It's very strange that I have an accident against myself, but well, yesterday I pressed the finger accidentally and I'm suffering really well. I'm way better now. I use arnica. Arnica is a good inflammatory cream
Yeah.
to inflammate the swollen fingers. So
But your finger, it isn't blood, or yes?
yeah, it has a bruise. It has a bruise here in the nail.
Yeah, it
You see it?
looks. Mhm.
It's a bruise. You see it, right? And it
Yeah.
was swollen. It was like this big, but with arnica, it reduced the swollenness, and it's way better now. Thank God, it's getting better little by little. But oh
Yeah.
man, it's so painful. Have you ever had a pressed finger against a door or something, Mickey?
Yeah. With the door of my car.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me. Has that happened to you?
Yeah. Yeah. And you feel sad because it's like, oh my god, how was possible that I, with myself,
I do that with
I
myself.
closed the door? Yeah, it's horrible, but yeah, it happened to me too.
Yeah, but well, I'm way better now. Thank you, Mickey.
That's
How
good.
are you? How was your weekend?
Was good, teacher. This weekend, well, the last Saturday was the birthday of my grandma, so we had a uh, not like a party, but my family and my mom's family reunited here in my house, and we ate something, and uh, yeah, we were here. And yesterday, I didn't do something special. I just saw the American football, and that was all, teacher. And
Oh,
you?
okay. Yeah, well, yesterday was Sunday. My friend, my girlfriend's gonna have an activity in the agricultural exposition
Uh
in
huh.
the agroalimentaria. So we were buying goods and plastic containers, cups, plates, all kinds of stuff. And
That's
then
great.
so we were visiting the whole city, Central de Abastos in downtown, in the convenience center, Soriana, Sam's, etc. Gathering all the resources, all the raw materials that she's gonna need Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's 4 days of activity representing a client. So she's going to be busy the whole week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I helped her out to get all the resources. And it was okay. It was
When's gonna be
perfect.
the Expo Agroalimentario?
Yeah, it's going to start on Tuesday and it's going to last until Friday. So Tuesday,
So
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
starts tomorrow?
It starts tomorrow, yeah, at 11, from 11 to 1. It's in the way out to Abasolo.
Ah, okay. Changed the venue, right? Normally
It
it's in,
did, yes, it did, because in the past it used to be near Div, I think.
yeah, near of the church of what's the name of the church? El Señor de la Misericordia and the food restaurant song, right? It
Ah,
was there.
yeah, yeah, that was like 3, 4 years ago, I think, or 2 years ago. Yeah, it used to be there in the past. Now they changed it because it's a bigger place. It truly looks to be well organized. There are lots of brands. There are more than 200 stands. Actually, I think it's like 800 stands. Looks huge and looks like a nice place to visit. It's a nice event. It's going to be 4 days. The growers of all the country in agriculture, machinery, seeds, plants, cultivars, greenhouses, all
Mm-hmm.
kind of technology you will see there. So it's a huge event, really, from all the country. And it's a good one. It's probably one of the most important events that Irapuato has, I think.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. Wow, I didn't know that. It's gonna be this week. That's great.
Yeah, yeah, it starts tomorrow. Mm, So talking about technology, Mickey, let's do a little exercise about technology. What do you think are the most important goals of technology? Most important goals of technology, in your opinion? What do you think are important goals of technology that we want to achieve?
Uh, make the daily activities that humans do in a easier way, probably.
So that would be uh, tech goals, technological goals. Yeah, make the activities easier or facilitate. What do you say? Facilitate what?
Hmm.
Facilitate. Facilitate what, Mickey? Facilitate the way.
The Yeah, the way how we do our daily activities. I think that the
Oh,
purpose of technology is make things easier. It's supposed.
make things easier. Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, in the past, how did we eat? Well, you had to go to the jungle, be very brave and be very strong and kill a jaguar, kill a lion, kill a bear, or kill any mammal and
Yeah.
eat, right?
Hmm.
And now, thanks to technology, you don't go to the jungle, you just go to the supermarket now, right?
Yeah. Now things are easier. Yeah, exactly. I think that that's the main purpose of technology.
Exactly. That's not a trivial question. That makes a lot of sense, and it changes. I mean, it makes us understand how different life is now, right? Just to eat in the past, geez, it's time to eat. I need to go to the jungle and kill a bear,
Hunt something. Yeah.
hunt something, right? A deer or whatever. It ran, right? Even if it was a rabbit, you had to chase the rabbit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And then how did you cook it in the past?
um, well, you needed to create a how you say bonfire,
Right, exactly.
and you need
Exactly.
to put the meat that you hunt before there, and that's all. I don't think that they make a like a recipe or something. I think that they just put it on the bonfire, and that's all. And sometimes
Probably.
not always, because it was after they discovered the fire.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Probably some plants, right? Some plants,
Yeah, sometimes. Hmm.
maybe to give it some spicy like mint, basil. I don't know. There are many plants that can give some flavor. But imagine how much society has improved to the way that now we just have to go to the market. Now, why is the keyword sustainability such a buzzword now? Everybody uses sustainability is a keyword, but the question is why? Why is this word sustainability so important now, Mickey, or so flashy?
Mm,
It refers to environmental sustainability, really. Why is this important?
I think that it's important because uh, we must keep a balance, and in consequence, improves the quality of the way how we are living, and a part of that, we protect our ecosystems and preserve it for more time or more generations in the future.
Correct, absolutely true. Now, it looks like we are not doing that. Some cultivars seem to be eroding the soil. So here is a question for you to think a little bit about. Which cultivars seem to erode the soil? This is a highly technical question. However, it's interesting to know that some cultivars actually seem to erode the soil. In other words, they damage the soil where they are planted.
Yeah.
So,
Mm,
which ones?
to be honest, I'm not too informed, but I think that, for example, sorghum, right?
Well, the thing, yeah, okay. Let me explain this. I didn't know this until recently. Monoculture farming, monoculture farming damages the soil. You say, how can it be? Well, yes, Mickey. If you plant potatoes and potatoes and potatoes and nothing else but potatoes, little by little,
Yeah, I remember that. Uh-huh.
okay, well, you know about that. So it creates soil erosion,
Mhm.
right? Monoculture farming creates soil erosion, right? It erodes the soil. So what do you need to do instead of having a monoculture farming, Mickey?
We need to change the things that we are uh, how to say harving.
Planting or farming, yes, exactly. Rotate the
Yeah,
cultivars or crops, right? You
crops.
rotate the crops. That's what you need to do. So if um, what would be a natural way of rotating the crops? In other words, potatoes are followed by onions, onions by broccoli, broccoli by celery, or is it a key formula? These are highly technical questions, of course, and I'm not expecting you to know the answer because I mean only technical people about the field know the answers. But how do you rotate cultivars? How do you rotate cultivars? I mean, which is the natural sequence, the natural rotation of cultivars?
Mm,
What would it be?
well, to be honest, I don't know, but I think that mm,
Well,
no, no, I don't know.
no, it's difficult to know. I didn't know actually. But look, the legume grain rotation, this is not my response. This is a response of internet. It says legume grain rotation. What does it mean? Let's read it, Mickey, please. You have access to this, right? Can you
Yeah,
read it, please?
legume grain rotation. This rotation alternates between leguminous crops such as peas, beans, or clover, and grain crops such as wheat, corn, or rice.
And now wheat is important because you make bread with wheat. What do
Yeah.
you produce with corn?
Um, popcorns.
Popcorn, of course. Well, of course, yeah, of course. And rice is a food that we eat every day almost, right? Or at least very often.
Tortillas. Yeah.
Tortillas made of, yeah, exactly, exactly. Tortillas made of corn. That's true, exactly. And that's a national food.
Okay. Exactly.
So, well, this is important.
I,
So
I
this
didn't know that.
rotation
Uh-huh.
is a suggestion by, at least by internet, right? But it makes sense, and that is more or less important. There is another system which is called the 3-year rotation. Uh, and then this 3-year rotation, I'm going to put it here, is another way of, here we have, I don't know, can you read it, Mickey, please?
Mm-hmm. 3-year rotation. In this system, the land is divided into three plots, with each plot planted with a different type of crop each year. Common crops in this rotation may include corn, soybeans, and wheat, with each crop following the other in a sequence over 3 years.
Yeah, that is like you, well, it's simple, right? You just have your acres, and then you divide it in 3 sections. Let's say that you have 15 hectares. So the first 5 hectares, you plant, let's say, corn, soybeans, and wheat. There you have corn here, corn, soybeans, soya, right? Soybeans. And here you plant wheat, trigo, which can be any other cereal, wheat, right? And then that's the first year, and the second year you just move corn here, wheat, I'm sorry, and that's simple, right? And you move corn to the right, and you
Soybeans to
move
the right too.
exactly. That's a 3-year rotation, and there is also a 4-year rotation. So really, the idea is not complex, but it's extremely useful. And you have other types of rotations: 4-year rotation, 5-year rotation, and there is one other which is interesting. Let's see what you think about this. Is pasture versus crop. So let me put that here. That is another type of rotation. Let's see what you think of this idea. But it changes the strategy of your field a little bit. Can you read it, Mickey, please?
Yeah. Pasture crop rotation. This rotation combines pasture or forage crops like grass or clover with annual cash crops, such as corn, soybeans, or wheat. The inclusion of pasture helps improve soil fertility and reduces the need for synthetic fertilizers.
Yeah, and the problem with many crops is that uh, the driver is not the soil, the driver is the market. So the driver is the market. So let's say that you think, well, next year I need to plant, I need to rotate broccoli with celery. But let's say that the price of the celery was bad, right?
Yeah, of course.
So celery, celery was bad, was very low, and the price of broccoli was high. You don't want to change, right? You want to maintain the crop that gave you more money, even if the field or the soil is asking for celery. So
Yeah.
that is a problem. That the driver is the market. Yeah, it's good to follow the market, but we are damaging the soil, and that creates erosion of the soil. How do you solve this problem, Mickey?
Mm, well, I think that one way would be uh, putting like rules or yeah, rules that people who make or who plants different type of crops. I think that the government probably must focus on that if they care about the problem, because obviously I understand the how you mentioned here that the driver is the market, but I think that if the government probably give like a what's the name? Yeah, give helps to these people. Probably we can help in a way the problem. You know, I think that we can fix it little by little, trying to establish the crops that we need to rotate. And if, for example, the next crop must be of celery, okay, the government's gonna help you with money to try to don't affect your work. I don't know, subsidize. Yeah.
Subsidize it, maybe, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, that sounds like a good idea. Truly a good idea. Sometimes, how can they subsidize? Well, providing the seeds,
Hmm.
sometimes giving tax breaks, which they give lots of tax breaks to the to agriculture. Mickey is
Yeah.
one of the most benefited fields of the society
Hmm.
regarding taxes. In reality, they already enjoy lots of benefits permanently. Talking about tax breaks, they are not taxed. But how else can you help the growers? Can you give them some indemnity in case of price drops, let's say that the market price of wheat is 5 pesos the kilogram, right?
Mm-hmm.
Per kilogram. So if you have 15 hectares, and let's find the yield of can you find out what the yield of corn of wheat is, Mickey, please? What's the yield per hectare?
Yeah.
Please, what's the yield per hectare wheat? So that we calculate the potential income.
Uh, Here says that generally, wheat grain yields can range from less than 1 ton per hectare to more than 10 tons per hectare.
10
Most,
tons. Yes.
yeah, most in winter, wheat growing areas produce around 3 to 7 tons per hectare, and the world Guinness record was of uh, 16.52 tons per hectare in 2018 in New Zealand.
New Zealand. Okay. So what do we consider? Maybe 5 tons per hectare?
Yeah, could be the average.
Okay, 5 tons per hectare. That is 5,000 kilograms, right?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So if you have 15 hectares, let's say 10, yeah, let's say 10 hectares, 10 hectares of wheat with an expected price of 5 pesos per kilogram, what do you make pretending or supposing that you harvest everything, Nikki? How much money do you make in 10 hectares? The yield is 5,000 kilograms per hectare.
50,000?
You have 50,000 kilograms at 5 pesos a kilogram, right?
Mm-hmm.
Per kilogram. So how much money do you make? 250,000?
250,000. Yeah.
All right. Now there must be some data saying what is the cost of production for wheat per hectare, cost of production. There must be that data, please, Mickey, if you can find it.
Uh-huh.
Cost of production for wheat per hectare. That will give us the profit.
Mm,
Cost of production.
mm.
Well, let's say in Mexico, right? Hectare.
Yeah.
Mexico, that is top yield of wheat. It says, well, listen, we're not so far off. 5.84 is 5.63 tons per hectare. Metric tons is impressive. Look at this graph.
Uh-huh.
We're right on the dot, as they say. The production of wheat, crop yield of wheat in Mexico, what is expected is exactly what we said, Mickey.
Really?
Five, yeah, it says that
Mm,
it's
yeah.
5.63, 0.66, 5.69. right? So, well, that's well. Now the average cost. Well, average cost is also something that we can find cost of production per wheat hectare yield, cost of production of wheat per bushel, the conversion. How much wheat is producing? What's the cost of 1 ton of wheat? Price change. Well, let's not spend too much time here. On corn to small farmers. Grain prices fall. Yeah, well, this is a problem. You will see this. Okay, this is a note to read eventually, right? I'll share this with you. The price of product falls below market levels, and that is a problem. Let me send you the note, just so that you can just take a quick glance, Mickey, not read it,
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
but here a quick glance to this news, because that is the typical type of news that you're going to see in the agro business. The price of crops like um, corn, wheat, barley, etc., is down. So they seek the help of the government. Mexico's farmers seek government help. That's exactly what you just said. Mexico's farmers seek government help as grain prices fall. So it's a problem of the market. The market goes in one way and the growers alarm, and it threatens the Mexican economy, right? And they are doing exactly what you said here, a guaranteed price of 7,000 pesos per ton of corn. That is 7 pesos per kilogram,
Yeah.
and 8 pesos per ton of wheat. They request that as a guaranteed price. Do you think the government is in a position to guarantee a price if the market price of wheat falls below, say, 8 pesos and below 7 pesos for corn? The government can subsidize and pay them for that. In other words, the government is the main buyer of wheat and the main buyer of corn. Can they do that, Mickey? Maybe yes. What do you think?
Mm, yeah, so let me see if I understood the question correctly. That the government could buy it and then the government distributes that too?
Well, of course, they need to do something, right, with the
Mhm.
with the corn, or produce something, or do something. But let's say that you produce corn, Mickey. How much do you produce? Let's say you produce 50,000 kilograms per season, right, of
Uh-huh.
wheat. And now, as it says here, you want to sell the wheat expected price. It says 8 pesos, right,
Mm-hmm.
per kilogram. That means you were expecting to make, well, of course, this is not profit, this is cost. The cost of production is like 15,000 pesos per hectare for most inexpensive crops. So what is 15,000?
400,000?
Okay, this is 400,000. This is the sale price, right?
Yeah.
Sale or income. And then the production cost is more or less 15,000 pesos per hectare. The cost of production. So that is per hectare. How much money do you spend producing 10 hectares, Mickey?
Um, 150,000?
So what is your profit?
250,000.
Now, yes, exactly. Thank you, Mickey. Profit. That's the money that you make in 10 hectares. Some growers have more. Some growers have 5 hectares only. So that'd be half of it. This is what you expect to make per season. There are usually what? 1 or 2 seasons per year. How many seasons are there for grains per year? So let's find out how many seasons are there per year. How many seasons of grains are there for growing grains? So how many plantations are you gonna have in a year, right?
Yeah.
It's normally one growing season.
Once, yeah. Haven't.
Okay,
Wow.
no, for wheat, it says, uh, well, that's important to know because that will tell you if you make twice as much money per year or just uh, are there, let's see what you find, Mickey. Are there what? 2 seasons for, let's say, corn, which is the national uh,
Mhm.
plantation, right? In Mexico. 2 seasons. Okay. Corn in Mexico has 2 seasons. So one is 75% of the other one. The first season, main season,
It's split into
you
two
get,
seasons.
is that Kira? No, it's not Kira. What's the name of the kitten?
Luna.
Luna.
Let
Okay.
me show it.
Oh, it's very nice. That's not upset. It's actually nice. Don't worry. In season 75% yield of the first. Normally, in the second season, you get 75% of what you get in the first season, right? So if your profit in the first season is 250, how much money are you gonna make in the second season, Mickey? The first one is 250. How much money do you make in the second season?
Um, go with me. 25. Um, 187,500.
100 in the second season, more or less, right? So in a year, how much money are you gonna make with 10 hectares? Total profit in per year, total profit per year
437,500.
per year. Well, honestly speaking, this is not bad, right? As a profit, it's more than what? Well, it's more than 30,000 pesos, actually.
Yeah, if we divide it between 12, it's gonna be 36,458 per month.
Per month. All right. So, with no taxes because the crops are tax free.
Oh,
Yeah. So, uh, but let's say this is if the price stays stable at 8 pesos, right? Sale price stays at 8 pesos. But then the growers say that sometimes the price will go down maybe the price will be 5 or 4 pesos, so that's half the profit. And they say that the government buys out or pays for the difference or acquires the product. What is the complexity of that solution? Or what is the difficulty or the challenge?
Of stays the price.
Yeah, let's say that the market price, you take your wheat to the or your corn to the Central de Abastos, and they tell you, yeah, but the market is at 5 pesos or 4, and then you say, well, but I need 8 pesos to be okay. So you go to the government, tell them you need to rescue the agriculture, the agro farmers. Pay us 8 pesos per kilogram, Mr. Government. Now let's say that you are the government. How do you react to that?
Well, of course, I think that it's a sector that the government must pay attention, because obviously we know that growers well field all the seeds, all the crops, and and I think that if they don't get the benefit that they deserve, because I'm not informed about agriculture, but I can imagine that it's difficult and that it requires time, obviously money, people, and there are a lot of families involved in that. So I will do a support. Um, I don't know what happened with this news that you sent me, but I will support the agriculture,
Yeah,
of
that'd
course.
be very, very nice, of course. And now, while you have the second challenge, Mickey, you give them the money, you subsidize it, or you buy the product and then you have the burden of distributing it. Do you buy it, or you give them just the money to compensate? You give them an indemnization, or you buy the product and then you distribute it? What would be better? Give an indemnity or buy it and distribute it? What would you do? Or both, or a combination? What do you think is better? Give monetary indemnity, buy it and distribute it. What do you think would be better as a government? Because you have the infrastructure as a government.
Mm, Probably I will try to do both. Uh, I tried. I will try to keep a monetary indemnity, but probably, well, we know that there are zones that they don't have the access to those products. So probably I will buy a part and try to distribute it to those people, to that people.
Okay. When I was in the US, Mickey, doing my master's degree, there was a church that invited or welcomed any person. This church invited any person to get in line and give them a box of products. This church gave you a box of products. Anything. I mean, not anything, but they gave you what's that? That's what. I don't remember what type of church it was. It was a church, very kind, and they gave boxes of food to the people who got in line. Right? I was curious one day. I said, "Well, I'm gonna get in line just to know the feeling of it." Oh man, I wanted to get out of the line immediately because you see the people that form that get in line, and you notice that they really need it. So I says, "Oh man, I felt so bad." So I says, "I'm taking the food that somebody else needs." But the church was very generous, and they didn't ask you anything else but your name. What's your name? Mickey. Okay, Juan. Okay, that's it. Here is your box of goods, and then you take it with cheese, milk, rice, corn, etc., etc. Do you think that system would work for the government as well, Mickey? How would you do it? How would you distribute food among the poor communities? Um, Would it be an organization or a secretary of the government that would do that?
I don't know. The issue here is that I think that people don't believe in the government. You know, like the things that are happening now in Acapulco, that they say that they're giving support, and there are people who say that it's not true, and and probably I don't know. Probably I will try to do an alliance with a private organization. And that this organization obviously know what are the poor community and try to give it to them and to the people that really needs, right?
Well, this is very interesting, Mickey. You say alliance with private organizations. That's truly interesting. How would you do it? There are alliances of the government with private organizations, for example, already to build highways, right? Alliances that are already current and which seem to work that I have seen are building tall highways. And like the toll highway that goes from Silao to Guanajuato. Have you seen that toll highway, Mickey?
What?
Which you have to pay 35 pesos, I think.
Ah, yeah, 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 yeah.
There is a consortium between the government and a private organization. That's exactly an alliance between the government and a private organization to the transportation sector, which is cars, right?
Yeah.
But then what you suggest sounds like a very good idea. How would that be, Mickey?
Um, yeah, I think that we need to look up for organizations that obviously are private, but that they don't get a benefit from it. That like the kind of organizations that they don't. What's the name?
NGO, non-governmental organization, NGO.
Non-governmental organization. Yeah, and that they don't get a benefit just because they want to do it. That there are organizations that it's supposed that it's without
Profit.
profit. Yeah, I will try to look up for those organizations and make alliances and try to give the food, or in this case the food to the people that really needs them.
Okay,
Bless you.
thank you. How do you establish an alliance with a non-for-profit organization? How do you establish an alliance? How do you establish an alliance with a non-for-profit organization or with a non-governmental organization? How would that be? Because that
Mhm.
sounds like a great idea. Would you conform or would you develop a cooperative? Uh, how would it be? Which is the the legal framework for doing that? Which
Mm,
framework for developing such an alliance? How would it be? Because that sounds truly interesting.
uh, I consider that first of all, we need to establish how many tons we have, how many, and the way in how we're gonna distribute. Not it's like okay, I trust in you and I'm giving you all the food. I think that there must be, yeah, probably the government or a secretary behind those organizations too, because obviously it's good to trust, but I think that in these times it is difficult to do it. So probably I will put people who is behind, like supervisors, yeah, and then search for the zones that really needs that food. Try to, obviously we know that we're not gonna cover all the all the zones, but probably starts in one zone and then to another, and moving this distribution. and yeah, obviously the organizations that are non-profitable, or how do you say it,
Non for profit.
not for profit, they're gonna search as support too, and probably me as a government, they could give if they do the work good. I will give them probably more support to other kind of activities that they want to create, and yeah, but of course I will put supervisors that check that everything uh, is going well.
Right. It is true. Now, this is a complex problem. Not this in particular, but the issue of trustworthiness is complex for many reasons. In my opinion, this is of course an opinionated comment. Is not totally objective. It has a bias, and it has a bias because I have a story, I have a context, I have my specifics. Like any person, there is no such a person like a robot that says, "Well, I analyze things objectively," because every one of us has a story, right?
Yeah,
Even
yeah,
if
yeah.
you are very young, yet mature, but you have your own story. You went to certain school, you have certain friends, you have heard or listened or watched certain programs. That happens with me, of course. So I have my doubts. This is an opinion about journalists. I'm not saying that they are bad people. I'm just saying that they also have interests, right?
They have their own interest. Yeah.
Yes, they work for a company that pays them. It's not that they are altruistic. Go to the
Hmm.
center of Acapulco, they go to the center of Mexico, they go to the center of Sonora, and they say, I am reporting because I am a good Samaritan. No, of course not. Somebody's paying them, right? And sometimes the people who pay them are oppositors or opponents to the government. Sometimes the opposite, they support the government. So, what I want to say is that journalists are interested people, not bad people. I'm not saying they are bad, but they have an interest. So they will sway to the right, they will sway to the left, and very seldom, this is only a personal opinion, very seldom they will be totally objective. What do you think of this comment, Mickey? You can dissent, of course. You don't have to say, well, yes, I fully agree. Dissension is accepted, is perfect.
Hmm.
Do you agree to a certain degree? You think what do you think about this comment?
Mm, yeah, obviously it's true. We know that uh, all organizations, doesn't matter if they are uh, non-profit or with or looking for a profit. Um, Obviously, they have something behind and the reason why they do that. I think that, for example, there are organizations that, like Teleton and all those kind of organizations that we know that the owner is Emilio Escarga or the owner of Televisa, that they create those kind of organizations to, how to say, avoid taxes and all these
Okay.
type of things. And I think that it is difficult to trust nowadays because or you don't trust in the company or you don't trust in the government. But I think that it's necessary to try to change this idea. And for example, we know that Teleton, they're doing the those activities for one reason, and probably is to, as I mentioned, try to avoid taxes or pay less taxes. But if at the end we are supporting people that requires this health, that really we are supporting, and that we are not just mentioning it, I think that could be one step to try to improve this the trust that people have in organizations and in the government, in any other kind of organization. I think that is necessary uh, to try to create alliances and try to really work for people that really needs the help.
Okay, I believe that is incredibly important, and
It is
I fully
difficult.
agree with you. Fully agree. You no, 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 totally agree. Honestly, honestly, I'm just trying to think. I want to ally with someone, right? I'm gonna begin with this. I want to have an ally. Who will that be my ally? The government, a non-for-profit organization, sometimes a private organization. So this ally will help me out, right? So it will be an alliance between, say, the government and maybe I'm following your thoughts, Mickey. Alliance between the government and a private organization. And that has worked because we have seen that in highways and many other joint ventures. So it's not that it's impossible. There are many alliances between the government and a private entity, like building private toll highways, and that works, of course. Uh, the government and a non-for-profit, a profit organization. Where have we seen this? Maybe in where? Where have we seen this? Maybe in orphanatories, or the government gives support,
Uh-huh.
and the government and mm, non-governmental organizations, NGOs, which there are plenty. All right. So we have to ally. We're going to create an alliance with any of these institutions. And then you have to build trust, which is important. You mentioned this word, build, build trust.
Trust.
Yeah. The process of building trust in the clientele, Mickey, building trust in society. Of course, you build trust with the family, with the girls, with the boyfriends, boyfriends with the girlfriends, uh, parents with kids, kids with parents, etc. It's a constant process. So this is incredibly important. It's not something trivial, and it's continuous. It's a never-ending process. Building trust
Yeah.
is actually it's a nice phrase. I like it. How do you do it?
Mm, well, I think that obviously it's something that requires a lot of time. It requires to show the results too, because uh, I remember one YouTuber that when was the Earth, how do you say Earth
Earthquake?
earthquake in Mexico, the last earthquake. There was a Mexican YouTuber that make an organization to rebuild the houses that were destroyed for the earthquake, and then he just continued with with his normal videos on YouTube, and people was asking because he reunited a lot of money, and people were asking about the money, and because a lot of famous people were part of and involved of this organization too. And until the last year, it's supposed that they make the houses, but they really don't show it to the people. So obviously, the trust that people have in this YouTuber just disappeared from one moment to other. And I think that it's important to build this trust, try to show all the advances, show all the results, show the plans that we have, because it's not like we needed money or we need whatever. We need to have a plan, and And for example, if with one organization, doesn't matter if it was private or non-for-profit organization or non-governmental, if we don't show the results, obviously people doesn't have will not have trust in us. So we need to really care about the people and organizations that we are doing our alliances and try to step by step again build trust in people.
Yeah, well, you mentioned two important aspects. One of them is show the results. You need to be transparent and gather money, but lay out the plan, show the plan, right?
Yeah.
You need to lay out the plan. Um, then another aspect which I consider would be also useful is invite or provoke. I don't know what the word is. You help me with this. Provoke surveillance.
Hmm.
Surveillance.
Yeah.
Provoke, right? Provoke surveillance. If there is someone checking out what you do, people will be confident that you're making good use of the resources. Yeah, it is also work to convince people to help out, right? But it's a moral obligation or ethical obligation to use the funds that you gathered in a proper way, right? Because of course I can say I am helping out the kids with cancer, and then I go to Manzanillo or to the beach with that money, right?
Yeah.
That's
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
abusing the good feelings of the people. But if I really create a foundation, actually, foundations have a very good purpose. But creating a foundation for a good reason, create a foundation, that would be truly nice. What do you think of this idea, Mickey, of creating a foundation?
Uh, I think that it's great because people could have more trust in us when we create a foundation and we show the results of the foundation. And yeah, I think that it's important to as you mentioned, uh, involve people that is not part of the government, neither of the organization, like external people, people that really wants to support and that really mm, realize that the things that we are doing are the things that we promising and the things that we are trying to make. So I think that it's important to involve external people. Yeah, I think that it's important, and I haven't mentioned.
Yeah. Well, also you just mentioned something which is crucial, and that will be, I think, the last concept that we'll talk about. When you make a promise, what do you promise? You are promising lots of things, right? Or we as an organization, our NGO is promising lots of things. Uh, so you need to meet those promises, right? So we need to meet those promises. Promises. We promise. We're promising to gather money and use it with the damnified people from the hurricane or from this or that. Well, we need to meet those promises. We need to comply with what we promise, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Mickey. Well, we were talking about many things which are truly important, truly interesting. We started with the agro and then with the support that they need, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then we ended up saying that maybe foundations or alliances could be solutions. How would you summarize today's conversation, Mickey, in general terms?
Mm, I consider that here in Mexico there are a lot of sectors that requires help, help from the government, help from uh, a private organization, a non-for-profit organization, non-governmental organizations. I think that there are a lot of sectors that requires help, and I think that that's why we believe that alliances are important. Alliances with the government, with non-profitable organizations, alliances in general, and try to build trust, because nowadays we know that we don't trust a lot in the government. We don't trust about those private organizations. I think that it's time, and we are a little bit late of create this trust in people again. And obviously we know that it's not something that occurs from the morning to the night. I think that it's something that requires time, that requires uh, a lot of effort, and that if we as society want to change, I think that it's necessary to start to create those alliances.
Those alliances, excellent. Okay,
Yeah,
Mickey, very good. I appreciate your comments. I think they're very constructive, very optimistic.
a
Uh,
little bit.
well, yeah, they're optimistic. They are idealistic too, and I emulate those. I like them, and I'm gonna share this if it's okay with you. I'm gonna share today's video with my students of English in the school, if it's okay with you,
Yeah, of
because
course.
one of them is a person who's very smart. He's retired from FIRA. He's a smart guy, very smart,
Hmm.
and he's involved in the agribusiness and
Oh,
he's
that's great.
learning. So if it's okay with you, I'd like to share this video with him so that he can listen to what you said
Yeah,
and
of course.
discuss the comments. Okay, not a
Of course.
problem.
Yeah, no,
All
no,
right.
no problem, teacher. Thank you.
Okay, Mickey. Well, and we have classes pending, right?
Yeah, eh,
Excuse me.
bless you. I think that I don't remember. The last week we had one class or two classes.
Ah, well, we had the class on Friday or Thursday.
Thursday, I think. Friday. Friday was on
Friday,
Friday.
yeah. And I don't remember if we had the class on Monday or we didn't.
Monday. The last Monday was mm, 30. No, I think that we haven't, because the last Monday. Well, I returned from Six Flags on Sunday, and I think that on Monday I haven't.
Okay. So we have two pending classes then.
Yeah. So with the class of this week, there's gonna be three classes in total, right?
This week we need to have four classes in total, or we have three classes this week and three classes the next week to recover the two pending classes.
Yeah, I think that will be easier if we do three and three. Teacher.
Okay, let's plan on that then. So maybe Wednesday, Mickey?
Yeah, on Wednesday, and probably I don't know if you can on Friday. You can on
Yeah,
Friday?
Friday. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay, on Wednesday and Friday. Yeah, because on Saturday I have my master, and
Yeah, of
the
course.
last week I didn't remember that. Okay,
All
teacher.
right.
So
Oh,
see
don't
you
worry.
on the next Wednesday.
See you Wednesday. Take care, Mickey. Goodbye and have a good day.
Take care,
See
teacher.
you.
Enjoy your
Enjoy
day.
your day, Mickey. Take care.